Today we're going to talk about a very important article in townhall.com. It stated, "Is Klaus Schwab the most dangerous man in the world?" Some people have called him a Bond villain. This whole sort of Davos UN 2030 agenda is scary, where you would eliminate private property and individual liberties. There are no intelligent women that I know who want a vaccine passport. And we are not going to be taken advantage of by Me Too CEOs who believe in communism. They are so far out there, these overpaid left-wing CEOs. So gentlemen, watch out, because I am here to stop the Great Reset. I'm Sandra Rupp. I was placed on the Thinkers 50 radar list for the world's top business thinkers. Bill Gates does not have a college degree, let alone a medical degree. We're not listening to Bill Gates. Paul Pullman told me that his views are closer to communism than socialism. We're not listening to the International Chamber of Commerce. We're not listening to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. His co-chair, Lord Mark Malloch Brown, is chairman of Smartmatic. Why did Smartmatic want to get some of their software into Dominion voting systems? We have a lot of questions for these Davos men. And in 2011, I was the one who asked the men at World Economic Forum for inclusive economic growth. And instead, they came up with all these crazy ideas like a vaccine passport and inoculations, like these experimental gene therapies. It's really nanotechnology to put into people. And again, a lot of people are saying, no, we don't buy this. We do not want the STEM majors at Davos running the world. One of the things I tweeted Ray Dalio is that there's too much sameness thinking at the World Economic Forum. I'm an executive coach, an anchor, and an interviewer. Why does Klaus Schwab want to put microchips in us? There's an economist named Anthony Mueller who said that the main thrust of the World Economic Forum is global control, okay? Free markets and individual liberties are not top values of the men at Davos. So please understand that the most dangerous thing in the world today is the threat of communism, of the vaccine passports, and of the men at Davos. You must stop listening to these men. They hired young people on purpose so that they could brainwash you. But many of you are smart enough to know that freedom and individual liberties are more important than money. This is what communists do, okay? They rig elections, they try and take over the United States. Ain't gonna happen, people, okay? I'm putting a stop to it. So all you woke Davos CEOs who are not even from the United States, who are trying to tell Americans how to vote, guess what? 70% of minorities want voter ID. So you guys are all on the wrong page of history. When I go back to my Davos CEO pledge, trying to get women to World Economic Forum, I created a blog about it. I picked 5 top Davos CEOs. There's a lot of scandalous behavior at Davos, and I am not going to put up with it anymore. And to the point where I've written letters to boards of directors, I've let the CEOs in charge, the new CEOs in charge, know what has happened with these past CEOs. I do these videos to speak truth to power, and because we need a lot more divergent thinking at the World Economic Forum and at Bilderberg. Sometimes men will do anything for power and money. I could tell when I saw the initial COVID videos coming out to scare everyone that it was CCP propaganda. I knew that it had a high survival rate. I knew that it was not something we needed to be on lockdown for. So many intelligent people knew this, but the media, the propaganda media, did not tell you this. But here in the happiest, healthiest city, we've been open for a long time. The test that they gave false positives for COVID. Many people were asymptomatic because they didn't have an infection. Only 6% of the people that died in the last year had COVID only. 94% had other comorbidities. So you see, the hospitals were incented to mark it down as COVID, but many of them weren't even tested for COVID. This was all a way to fool everyone into a lockdown and to scare you and to hurt small businesses. You need to wake up, America. You need to wake up, UK. You need to wake up, Western world, and any country that believes in democracy. But we are right now at the fork in the road between freedom and communism, and we need to make sure that people are choosing freedom. And there are too many people wearing their masks and choosing communism and lockdown and living in fear. And that was all designed by very powerful men at Davos to put you into a fear and control psyop. Okay, that's basically a psychological operation where they scare you into these things. And, oh gosh, if you get COVID, they're going to, the police are going to come and take you out of your home. It was to put fear in you. I'm a history major and a humanities major, and I also got an MBA in business. I have been blocked on Twitter when I ask questions about why don't you have more than one woman on your CEO team by billionaires. I've been blocked on Twitter by prime ministers who want to take over the United States of America. There's a real urge to talk about climate change because what they want to do is to get more money over to India and China and take advantage of the American middle class. Right now, what we're seeing, all of the things that are happening are a way to transfer money out of the United States to other countries, which will make the United States a third world country. If you don't think we're heading towards Venezuela, then you don't understand what's going on. We need to put a stop to this now because democracy and freedom are the most important values that we have. America was founded for freedom of speech and freedom of religion. We are heading much more towards communism. The Chinese CCP wants to control the vaccine passports. They want to control everything you say and do. You can even see the craziness of the last year. In the town hall article, it talks about the Commons Project. Look it up. It is a way to mandate vaccine passports. The World Economic Forum has been involved in this, and it is a very dangerous communist model. They want to control your banking. They want to control your credit score, what you say on social media. They want to delete your books like they're doing on Amazon. They want to delete your tweets like they're doing on Twitter. They want to delete your videos like they're doing on YouTube. That is communism, and we must stop it today. We need to make some changes at the World Economic Forum and at Bilderberg, get more women there, get more diversity of thought, get more diversity of political beliefs. We don't have the mask mandate anymore. We had a very low percentage of COVID. We had a low percentage of people dying. If you actually look at the numbers, you'll see that there haven't been that many more people dying. I am very much a product of my background. So I was born in Washington, D.C., and I had a family member who worked for the NSA at the time, and I had a family member who worked in the television industry. So media is in my blood. I've worked in it. But I moved into executive search and worked in New York for many, many years. And I basically was a management consultant to companies, some of the top companies in the world, and helped them find the right executives for their job openings, first in the .com space, marketing, but I did it in every industry, and then in financial services. I've done pharmaceutical industry. I've done pretty much every industry you can imagine, consumer products, but always looking for rising stars and leaders. And eventually I got up to the top where I was doing searches at the tippy top and had met so many interesting people, some of whom now attend the conferences that I follow, like Davos or Bilderberg. There are really intelligent women who don't get invited to World Economic Forum, but should. And I think that it's also important to know that all of this sameness thinking going on between Silicon Valley and the banking CEOs is really scary because we don't have enough people questioning what these CEOs are doing. And many of them are highly compensated, left-wing. Many of them think the same. But I think there's a real threat right now to individual liberty, private property, and all of the things that America was based upon. So to all the European-born CEOs and Indian and Russian-born CEOs and all of you who are trying to bring communism to the United States, I'm stopping it today, okay? We need to get Klaus Schwab replaced because I have been told by one of the world's top retired CEOs, now still attending Davos, and again, that's a whole nother matter. We need to replace all these retired CEOs at Davos. But he told me that Klaus Schwab's mission was not to get more women there, that it's a place for men to do deals. And in addition, he told me that Klaus just wants to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And so when people are telling me things like that, the warning bells go off as an executive coach. Your central nervous system recognizes danger before other people. We saw that in the tsunami, how the sensitive animals went up to the higher level of the hills and saved the rest of the animals from dying. So sensitivity is a leadership skill, and it is a way to sense danger in the air before others. I have very keen intuition, and I sense something very dangerous going on right now, and that is the threat of global communism. And for anyone who doesn't believe that, then you really are not doing reading. You are not understanding what's going on at these conferences and with these CEOs, and you are not getting real news. There's a lot of propaganda out there from places like CNN. Their employees have even admitted that it's propaganda now. And as we know, Ted Turner has not been too happy with the direction the channel has taken. We must make sure that communism never lands on these shores. I am the 11th great-great-granddaughter of the Reverend William Brewster, who came to the U.S. on the Mayflower for freedom of religion and freedom of speech. So I was placed on the cover of the Davos debates in 2011 when I stated that investing in and empowering the feminine leadership style is the largest economic opportunity worldwide. You know, you would have thought it would have been an easy thing for men to understand, right? I mean, the first message there is not all women are like men. We're different. We're happy to be different. But second of all, there's so many intelligent, accomplished women, including entrepreneurs, who need to be invested in. But unfortunately, what's happened, women have not been invested in properly by Silicon Valley or by banks or by angel investors. And therefore, the majority, the last time I checked, it was 90% of female founders remain one-person companies, which just really shocked me. So I think everyone has to understand that we cannot go down this path whereby we just listen to the men at Davos, and they actually have failed at inclusive economic growth. They, instead of understanding that we needed to be different, they tried to make women the same, just like them, right? They wanted everyone to major in math and science, and that doesn't go over too well with a lot of women. Plus, it doesn't value the humanities majors, the creative thinkers, the divergent thinkers, and therefore we said no to these men. Please know that I do not vote Republican because of money. I vote Republican because I believe in freedom. I'm a writer. I believe in free speech. I voted for Obama the first time, but I saw what was truly going on with Clinton and the lack of job creation, and I realized that they had deregulated the banks on purpose, and now they are trying to fool everyone into communism. This was all planned by the powers that be at places like Bilderberg and Davos, and we have to stop these men. I have reason to believe that the U.S. election was rigged in 6 cities. You can ask my friend Patrick Byrne all about that. He's got it all pinned down. His Geek Squad has found the cities. If you would like executive coaching on any of these topics, please call me. And I want to help as many people as I can, whether you are a rising star or a billionaire or a CEO. I want to work with you to create a real bright future. But that means that we must value political diversity of thought. Indeed, I believe we need to add that as a right in America, so I hope the politicians are listening. Political beliefs should be a protected category, just like race or gender or anything else. We cannot discriminate based on people's political beliefs. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of political beliefs. This is what America was based on. So I am here to not only help CEOs and billionaires, but also ask for their help in getting my interview show off the ground, getting a lot more diversity of thought out there in these conferences and making sure that female leaders are heard. Okay, so if you'd like to donate at patreon.com, I would very much appreciate it. I have different categories of giving based upon your background, and anything from $5 to $10,000, whatever you can donate would be appreciated. It does cost quite a bit to launch an interview show. I've got the talent, I've got the guests, I've got the space. I just need to get the production quality at the level where I really like the way the show is being presented, and I have been a perfectionist most of my life, so I want to make sure things are done right. I would ask for all of the pastors and priests and ministers and anyone else out there who really believes in freedom, the rabbis, all of you, to please say a prayer for freedom, and please continue on the path of letting people know that freedom and individual liberty are very important. I'm Sandra Rupp. Thanks so much for watching. We've got a beautiful picture of Audrey Hepburn in the background because I used to work in New York. Please press subscribe. Love you all.